All right, Mounce BBG, chapter 13, sentence 7. You look at this sentence, you're trying to do the translation, you want to figure out how to break it up. I would tell you, if you know you got a verb like says in there, one of the easy ways you can help yourself is to say, okay, if I've got a says, I may have a quote. If I've got a quote, then let me break it up based on where the quote starts. You notice the quotation mark here, so essentially what you're going to be working on is this first clause, and that will help you break things up. So again, once you look for you see a word like says, look to see whether you have a quote, and then break it up that way. That should be an easy fix for you. All right, then of course you want to look for the subject because you have a he, she, it says here, and you go, okay, who are we talking about? Well, the only nominative in there is hegune, or the woman. So clearly she is the subject. And then the woman says, and then you have this prepositional phrase, pros auton. Of course, pros takes the accusative, so that's why you see that new. And again, you see a new, you ought to think accusative most of the time. And of course, the woman says, what we'd expect pros to mean here, to him, right? So that's easy enough. So the woman says to him, you're done. All right, you go to the second clause. This is your second clause. Kyrie from kurios, which is Lord or Master. All right. So Lord, and then gives you the verb. Mounce gives you the verb again. Give, and then you have this first-person personal pronoun that ends with an iota, and hopefully you know by now that when you see an iota, almost anywhere, if you talk about a noun, you see an iota, you're thinking about dative locative instrumental. Don't know how much we've shared about dative locative instrumental, but I know Mounce goes with just dative, and that's what it really is here, is a dative, functioning like an indirect object. So, or as an indirect object. So in any case, you got that iota that tells you that it's dative. So give to me, or give me, which is the way we would translate that as an indirect object, is simply give me. And then you have tuto tohodor, and you look at this and you say, okay, I see that it's neuter. I see that this is neuter singular. And even if you don't recognize this, it's got to agree with a definite article. So that to is going to help you know that it's neuter singular and that it's either nominative or accusative. Well, it can't be nominative, right? I mean, if you already have her saying give as an imperative, and she's talking to the Lord, essentially what she's saying as an imperative is you give. So you already have the subject set up. So what you're looking for is what she's asking him to give her. So that tells you that this has to be accusative. This whole string has to be accusative. And of course with tuto this, if I were to just read it out, I'd say this, the water, but of course that's going to drop out in English and you're just going to say this water. So the second clause would be, Lord, give me this water. And then you're done.